cruise set off on Friday. Once in Ceuta, they enjoyed a sightseeing day, a champagne reception and a fancy dress party. But numbers were down on previous years for one particular reason.
I'm delighted with the fact that we raised that amount because I feared that we weren't going to have, in fact, we had less boats than we normally do because there's a bout of orcophobia amongst a lot of sailors. So yeah, but we did okay, and 16 boats came along.
I mean, to touch on that, we keep hearing these stories out in the Straits about the orcas becoming aggressive towards boats. Is that in the back of your mind and many of the people in your group?
Yeah, and I think it is, but I think finally we've got sensible advice, because the advice before for sailors was bring your sails down, switch the electronics off, switch the engines off, and just wait till they get bored with you. The trouble is these creatures don't get bored that easily. So the advice now, which I think is much more sensible, is sail away from them and start your engine and zigzag away from them towards shallower waters. And they're not as inclined to approach a boat that's got a spinning propeller.
So the rally Friday to, well, for some people Monday. Tell me a little bit about how it went and the idea behind it, because it's been going for quite a few years now.
It has. In fact, it starts Thursday evening. We have what we call a skipper's briefing, which is to get all the skippers together and a cruise and tell them what we're going to do, give them some navigation advice, and then on the Friday, we left here at 11 o'clock, and off we went. And the idea is actually that we can do something that's fun. Gib is a generous place, so I get sponsored by local businesses. There are many, and so they donate things which we raffle or we auction, and people pay a substantial amount of money to take part. It's good. We managed to do it.
Some of the fleet returned to Gibraltar on Sunday despite strong winds, but the cause was an important one.
The Red Cross across the world is, the reason we raise for the money for the Red Cross is because they're kind of a brand. They're doing work. For example, last year everything we raised went to Ukraine for humanitarian relief. Whenever there's a disaster, it's the Red Cross who are the first to arrive. In Gib in particular, they do great work. I've got I had very elderly parents, still do have an elderly dad, and they provide wheelchairs and walkers and stuff like that. I think that's terrific, and it needs to be supported.
Boatshed Gibraltar thanked